Здравствуйте, меня зовут Вера Алексеевна Полякова-Норвуд. Добро пожаловать на урок русского языка. Добро пожаловать. And well, let's start talking Russian. So what are we going to talk about today? During our previous lesson, we talked about Иван Иванович и его семья, and we also met Василий Николаевич и его семья. But today, instead of talking about fictional characters, let us talk about ourselves. Today, we shall begin with what you can say about yourselves, what you already can say about yourselves, and then we will add some more phrases that will allow you to make your stories a little longer. So let's see what you can say about yourself. You can identify yourself by name. You can say «Меня зовут», and then you add your name, right? You can tell me where you live. Я живу в США. Or я живу в Америке. And then you can tell me that you live in the state of Texas. How do you do that? Я живу в штате Техас. Я живу в штате Техас. And you can even make up a sentence that will give me the name of the city where you live. Я живу в Далласе. Я живу в Далласе. Just remember that when we identify where a person lives, we use which case? The prepositional case. Я живу в Америке. Я живу в штате Техас. Я живу в Далласе. The year ending goes on America, штат, and Dallas. Just remember about that. You can also bring your family pictures to class, and you can identify who is who in those pictures, and you can talk about your папа, мама, брат, сестра, кот, собака, and others. Today, we will learn how to identify where you study, at what school you study. And you know, that's a very important skill too. But before we start working on where you study, let's go over how we identify people that study, people who study. What do we say about a young man who studies at a university? Student, student, a male college student or a male university student. It's very important for you to remember that this word, student, applies only to college students. Student, student. And what do we say about a female college student? Studentka. Again, we add ka, and it turns a male into a female. Studentka, a female college student. Студентка. Хорошо. And when we talk about college students, we call them студенты. I want you to notice this ending here. И. That's one of the plural endings in the Russian language. Студенты. Those students who study at the university level. Those who go to college. Студенты. And say it in your classrooms. Студенты. Студенты. Хорошо. But how do we call those who attend high school, who study at the secondary level? For these people, for you, we have this word. Школьник. Школьник. a male secondary school student. Школьник. Notice it ends in a consonant. It's a masculine noun. Школьник. A secondary school student. It can be a first grade student, it can be a fifth grade student, it can be an 11th grade student, or it can be a senior in high school. Школьник. Школьник goes to школа. Школьник. A schoolboy. Школьник. Школьник. Хорошо. But how do we call a female secondary school student, a schoolgirl? We say школьница. Школьница. This time the feminine word ends in ница. Школьница. Школьница. And you should recognize this part of the word as a feminine suffix from учительница, a female teacher. Школьница, a female secondary school student. Школьница. Школьница goes to школа. Школьница. Say that one more time. Школьница. Школьница. And when we talk about secondary school students as a group, we call them школьники. Школьники. And at the end of this word, you can see the letter E. E is one of the plural endings in the Russian language. We will be studying the formation of plurals a little bit later. But now I want you to remember the words студенты, college students, and школьники, secondary school students. All of you are школьники. Вы школьники. Вы школьники. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So, школьники study at the secondary school. Study. We need to learn this Russian word. Study. To go to school. To be a student at a certain school. So let's take a look at this verb. Учиться. Учиться. Now, учиться is an interesting verb. It means to study at a school or to be a student at a certain school. To attend a school. Учиться. Учиться. We use this verb when we identify where, at which educational establishment a person studies. Учиться. And beside the verb учиться, you can see the Roman numeral 2, which means that this verb belongs to the second conjugation. Remember, there are two conjugation patterns in the Russian language, and we call them the first conjugation and the second conjugation. So right now we are looking at the second conjugation verb. Учиться. Учиться. Also, it's one of those verbs that end in «я». Учиться. So, я учусь, I study. Ты учишься, you study or you go to school. Он учится, he studies, he goes to school. Мы учимся, вы учитесь, они учатся. The conjugation pattern for this verb is very difficult because it's different from everything that we have seen so far. So I need you to very carefully write this down. And you already noticed that this verb ends in «я». And yes, there's a whole big group of verbs in the Russian language that carry this particle at the end. So from time to time we'll be coming across verbs that end in «я». So let's write down all the verb forms for учиться. Okay. Well, we shall begin with the infinitive. Учиться. Учиться. And you remember that this verb belongs to the second conjugation, so it carries different endings. Now, я, I study, I go to school. Я учусь. Я учусь. Ты учишься. Ты учишься. Notice that these two letters S-ya appear after the verbal ending. This is the verbal ending. This U is the verbal ending, and then we add S-ya, or sometimes S on the soft sign. Well, let's move on to the next verb form. Он учится. He studies, or he goes to school. Он учится. Again, it is our second conjugation verbal ending for third person singular. Он учится. Он учится. He studies, he goes to school. Now the plural forms. Мы учимся. We study, we go to school. Им is our second conjugation ending for the first person plural. And then we add S-ya at the end. Мы учимся. We study, we go to school. Вы учитесь. Вы учитесь. Ите is our second conjugation ending, and then at the end we have S and the soft sign. And finally, они учатся. They study, they go to school. At is our second conjugation verbal ending, and at the end we have S-ya. Они учатся. You may be wondering why in the first person singular form and in the second person plural form we have S and the soft sign at the end. What the Russian language does here is trying to economize and not add an extra syllable. We're just trying to make these verb forms a little bit shorter. And if we have a soft sign here and not the letter ya, we are losing one syllable. So we're just trying to be as laconic as possible. This makes it a little bit easier for pronunciation. It's a thing that you have to remember. But right now, just go ahead and memorize this whole conjugation. Я учусь, ты учишься, он учится, мы учимся, вы учитесь, они учатся. Okay, now everybody after me. Я учусь, ты учишься, он учится, мы учимся, вы учитесь, они учатся. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So, now it's time for us to take the verb учиться and start using it within sentences. Итак, учиться. We study at school. We go to school. Да? Учиться. Я учусь at school. We have to take the word школа and put it in the prepositional case. Я учусь в школе. Я учусь в школе. I study at school. Let's take a look at this. Я учусь в школе. And you can continue this sentence and add the name of your high school right here. Я учусь в школе and add the name of your school. Я учусь в школе. Хорошо. Хорошо. Now you can identify where you study. How would you ask a Russian teenager or your pen pal where he or she studies? Where do you study? Where? Где ты учишься? Где ты учишься? Хорошо. And now imagine that you are speaking to someone older than you are. And you know that person goes to a university and he or she attends a university, but again that person is older. How would you ask him or her? Где вы учитесь? This time you have to use the second person plural pronoun вы. Где вы учитесь? Хорошо. And now let's pretend that we are talking to a group of Russian teens and we are asking all of them, well, where do you guys study? Где вы учитесь? Где вы учитесь? Ну, хорошо. Well, let's practice with this. We'll take a look at a few pictures and I want you to practice with the questions где ты учишься? That's the informal way of asking where a person studies. Or где вы учитесь? This is more formal. And it also is used when you are addressing a group of people. So let's try this. Итак, пожалуйста. Где ты учишься? Где ты учишься? Хорошо, let's look at this picture. Где вы учитесь? Now we are addressing a group of college students and we ask, где вы учитесь? Хорошо. Well, how about this? Again, we are talking to a group of students and we ask them, где вы учитесь? Где вы учитесь? Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. And do you still remember the difference between the words студент and школьник? Well, let's take a look at this picture. This young man is definitely a student. He goes to a college or a university. Он студент. Student. And let's read a short paragraph about him. Так, посмотрите, пожалуйста. Познакомьтесь, это Борис. Он студент. Он живет в Москве и учится в университете. So read this paragraph in your classrooms, please. Хорошо, хорошо. Итак, его зовут Борис. А кто он? Студент или школьник? Он студент. А где он учится? Он учится в университете. Он учится в университете. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. Let's take a look at this picture. Well, what can we say about these young people? Школьники. Да? Они школьники. Школьники. So what can we say about where they study? Они учатся в школе. Они учатся в школе. Хорошо. And I want you to read these two sentences. Это школьники, они учатся в школе. Read this out loud in your classrooms. Хорошо. Хорошо. So what I want you to remember from today's lesson is that студенты учатся в университете, а школьники учатся в школе. Студенты учатся в университете или в институте, а школьники учатся в школе. А кто вы? Кто вы? Вы школьники. Вы школьники. Вы учитесь в школе. Вы учитесь в школе. Ну, хорошо, хорошо. Итак, we know that школьники учатся в школе. And in Russia, especially in big cities, schools are numbered. So we find школа номер 1, школа номер 2, школа номер 3, школа номер 4, школа номер 5, etc., etc. When I was a secondary school student, I was attending school number 311. And then when I started teaching, I taught at school number 52. So schools, especially those in big cities, are numbered, and sometimes you have pretty big numbers there. Ну, хорошо. So still let us practice a little bit with школьники and студенты, and also who studies where. Let's take a look at a few more pictures, and I will be asking you, кто это, школьники или студенты, and I will also be asking you, где они учатся. So let's begin. Кто это? Это школьники. Где они учатся? Они учатся в школе. Хорошо. А кто это? Это школьники. Где они учатся? Они учатся в школе. Хорошо. А кто это? Это студенты. Где они учатся? Они учатся в институте. Они учатся в университете. Так, а кто это? Это школьники. Где они учатся? Они учатся в школе. Хорошо. А кто это? Это студенты. Где учатся студенты? Они учатся в университете. Or we can also say, они учатся в институте. Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. Now you remember that there are two types of higher education establishments in Russia. Университет and then институт. So, студенты учатся в университете или в институте. Ну, а школьники учатся в школе. Хорошо. So, after this lesson, when you meet a Russian teenager, when you meet a Russian teen, what questions will you ask of him or of her? Well, now let's imagine that we are meeting this nice young person. And what questions can you ask of him? You can certainly ask about his name. Как тебя зовут? We can ask, как тебя зовут? Right? We can also ask him, where do you live? How do we do that? Где ты живешь? Где ты живешь? And then today we learned how to ask, where do you study? Где ты учишься? Где ты учишься? So let's look at these questions. Как тебя зовут? What is your name? And since we are talking to a Russian teenager, to a Russian teen, we can be very informal and use this pronoun. Как тебя зовут? Где ты живешь? And then today we learned how to ask, where do you study? Где ты учишься? Где ты учишься? Ну, хорошо. Хорошо. So right after this lesson, I want you to start working on your additional exercises, and you will practice with everything that we learned during today's lesson. We need that to be reinforced. I really need you to learn how to ask the questions and how to answer the questions appropriately and be able to express where you study. And your homework comes from your workbook. Find урок номер 3, lesson number 3, and on page 49, translate sentences 16, 17, and 18. And then I want you to find your textbook, take your textbook, again find урок номер 3, lesson number 3, and review sections 3.4 and 3.6. And please go over the notes that you took today during class, because the verb учиться is not in the textbook, it's in the notes that you took today during class. That's why I keep telling you, keep good notes during this class. Ну, хорошо, хорошо. Большое спасибо. Thank you very much. И до свидания.